Hi, my name is Mike Lee.G, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And we discuss all kinds of things that has to do with dealing with difficult people, learning more about ourselves, how that's intertwined with the Bible, and bringing ourselves to a better place. So this way, if we're confronted or dealing with family members or love interests that are either a narcissist or psychopath, or even if you are the narcissist and psychopath and you're dealing with the enabler from hell, um, here's where you're going to get answers that you're probably, I don't know if you're going to get them anyplace else. And I'll tell you why and the reason for this in a second. Um, we hope you subscribe and share these videos with other people, because this is not a mainstream idea, because most people don't like to hear the truth, and especially when it comes to challenging a belief system that people have been ingrained with and then try and justify, which we're going to get to in a minute. Also, we have a Patreon page, which there are links below, and if you're so inclined, we hope you visit it, and we hope that we make meaningful contribution to helping you out of whatever situation you're in. And that's going to lead me into, why isn't my therapist helping me? That is a pretty big question. Why isn't my therapist helping me? Well, maybe you've been going to the same therapist for many years, and you've have a relationship with them, and in hindsight, you're still falling into the same predicament with the narcissists and with the psychopaths. Well, I'm going to tell you straight out. If you're in a relationship with a narcissist or psychopath for 1 year or longer, you are not the victim. Remember that. You are not the victim. You are not, they want to use words like codependent, because that's a fluffy word. You could think you're codependent, but actually what you are is you're an enabler. You're enabling the evil. That's really what it is. Now, I say this because it's very easy to see the psychopath or narcissist, because they're kind of out there. Now, the covert narcissist is an enabler also. They use enabling, and they hook up with a narcissist usually, and they drain the narcissist from funds or whatever. Usually the blind enabler, which is the enabler that usually gets into relationships with psychopaths, gets beat up, and the cunning enabler, or the covert narcissist, lives in mansions. So you could say the sophisticated psychopath is a narcissist. The sophisticated enabler is a covert narcissist. And that's really what it is. That's really what it is. So what happens is, when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, a lot of people go to therapy to try and find a way to make this work. Okay, now I'm going to hit this on both sides. You're going to a therapist to try and keep the relationship going. All right, so what you're going to end up doing is you're going to end up finding more creative ways to lie to yourself, perpetuating this problem that you have of enabling, so that they stay with you. And that's what these people usually hunt the internet for. How can I keep this guy? They want to hold on to the flamethrower that's being flaming onto them, and they're the gas tank. That's what they want to do. So your therapist is helping you do this. Personally, I think that that's a conflict of, that's like teaching you how to, kill yourself with razor blades, and the therapist help. It's like a Kevorkian type thing for people that are potentially not going to die, but cavorting was helping people die. In this case, your therapist is actually helping you punish yourself. My whole thing is, I got to pop that head out of you and bring you into a complete person that can say no. And my last video that you saw was going into the drawings and how to deal with that. So you're going to your therapist, and the therapist is giving you what you want. So to have you stay in this relationship, or to have you justify yourself, you're now the victim. That's it. Now you're going to have the victim mentality. And being the victim absolves you of any personal responsibility. Yep. You are now not responsible for your actions. You've had 4 relationships, and every one of them turned out the same way, but it's not you. It's them. And I've had spoken to people in this situation, and I've told them no contact, and you've heard about the no contact, but this person can't help themselves. They're gonna contact. They're gonna contact because this is an out-of-body distortion of something that should be happening in the body. This person does not have the head. This person does not want the body. So this person wants to use them as their head. And it's a very sticky situation, and at the end of the day, it's just darkness. You've seen that 2 videos back in my videos. Your therapist is perpetuating this problem. Now, in my other videos that you know, both these people are hardcore liars. This person lies to get something from this person. This person lies to keep that person. Okay, it's a different type of lie, but it's the same. When you say yes when you should say no, you're lying. And you do that so that they would stay. Okay. So you're both liars. Both people in the lie, they distorted the space and time so they are not conscious. Both these people have a warped understanding of what's going on. So when you go to your therapist, what's the first thing that they do is they ask you questions. My thing is, if I'm working with someone, I don't ask them questions. I really don't care what they got to say. And it sounds pretty harsh right now, but let me make myself clearer here. Anything that I do that facilitates the lie is only going to keep that person in bondage to their prison. This person's in prison and that person's in prison. Now we know this person will overtly lie, and this person being, let's say, the narcissist or psychopath, the psychopath will be more rough on it. The narcissist will be a little bit more sophisticated. The narcissist will spin a better story. When you ask them something, they're going to spin a story so that you like them, so that you would find glory. So they'll, make themselves out look better. That's all a lie. Every time that you ask them a question, you're giving them the opportunity to lie. You are further strengthening this divide. You are not bringing them down. They have to come down. And if they're lying, they're not coming down. So the way you bring this person down is to not ask them questions and don't give them opportunities to separate. That's why drawing the nose first and then drawing pictures, you can't cheat the spirit. And that's the whole idea. You can't cheat the spirit. The spirit won't let you cheat. So by having them drawing, I've made this image years ago. Both of these are, 8-10 years ago I made them, and I really couldn't add to them to make them any better. So I use the same image. They're holding a drawing. This pain starts with holding the drawing, because the narcissism, psychopath, the enabling, and the covert narcissism has everything to do with a spiritual problem. And that's another reason why you're not going to get success with it by conventional means. Because the people that feed, let's say, the psychopath and narcissists are usually the 1.5 to 3 damage, where they can't say no, and then the 5 to 7, which, you know, they're the covert narcissism as well, the sophisticated enabler. But the narcissism is 3 to 5 years of age. This is when you're supposed to connect to the spirit. Now, everybody's got to go through 3 to 5. When this person goes from 3 to 5, they use their energy now. Instead of connecting with the spirit, they're going to connect with someone outside of their body. Okay? They're not going to connect within their body. They're going to look for someone outside the body as the more like a God reference. You could think that they consider their narcissist or psychopath like, I got to listen to God. And that's the kind of relationship they set up, because it's spiritual. This is the problem that happened in the Garden of Eden. You're split from God. Your creativity is in your torso. That's where you're supposed to draw. You're supposed to connect with that. If you don't connect with that, now you got to escape. So when the narcissist gets at this point, they look to escape this. When the enabler, who had the problem here, gets to this place, they look to pull someone down. So the energy now is one seeks to get away and one seeks to pull one down. And this is spiritual. This has... You're not going to fix this by, you're not going to fix this with cerebral list making. You're not going to fix this with someone telling you that, you're right, and then the other person is the dangerous monster. You're not going to get this with someone saying, well, just tell them, confront them and just tell them. All that stuff is nonsense. It really is nonsense. If anything, I'm surprised that there are not lawsuits against these people telling you all these things in these videos, because they're not going to work. They're just going to put you in a dangerous environment. That's why I tell everybody, I say, you want to confront the narcissist? It'll eventually happen. But you can't do it with vomit, which we discussed. You have to do it in power, strength, and in truth, in real time. It has to be in real time, as it happens. When you get that strength, what's going to end up happening, you're going to eventually get a no contact. And it's not going to be that you're going to desire to contact them and you're forcing yourself. It's going to be more like they're not going to ever want to contact you, because you are now no longer a tasty meal. You're no longer a tasty meal. Therapists also don't work with the body. Okay? They don't work with everything's with the head. The problem is that a lot of this also... let me start again. Energy shapes matter. And if you saw my stages of development video, every one of these ages, like before birth and 6 months, certain physical traits happen in the body as well. In every one of these. This person becomes like almost upright straight. And it's the rigidity. They look like Marines standing in attention all the time. The body is frozen. This person might have huge eyeballs. Eyeballs are very big. Women sometimes are pear-shaped. They're pear-shaped body shapes. The men will have a big V. They'll have a small ass, and there's like a V in the shoulders, and women get the V shoulders too. This you might see no neck in the anal phase. You might see someone that is kind of like stout. This person also can't turn their neck. They're so frozen, like they have to turn their whole body. In fact, part of United States President Donald Trump, when he speaks, his hands aren't fluid. They kind of work like, they work like a computer said, move to the right, move up, move down, or something, and they have that very blotchy type of motion. When you get to this stage here, the mirroring stage, the person might that person is kind of the skin is kind of like elastic. It's more elastic here, and here they're sunken in eyes. And these are all physical. These are physical traits I'm talking about now. These got to be worked out of the body as well. So, if someone has a block here, I have exercises that are different than when someone is here or when someone's here. And what the exercises do is they kind of remove the blockages in the body. There's also physical ailments too. Like if the problem is here, the schizoid, they might have problems with the joints. Joints is a big thing. Anal phase is heart attacks, hypertension. Pre-genital stage can have stomach problems. The genital stage will have all kinds of. They have beady eyes too. They'll have beady eyes, big eyes, and beady eyes because they really don't want to see anything because they already know they're like perfect, so they don't want to see anything. So they got beady eyes, and they have stiff necks. Stiff necks. This is the religiosity of something. They count cracks. So there's a lot more to this than just we're going to have a cerebral conversation and we're going to fix this, or we're doing this together. I'm sorry to tell you, it just doesn't work like that. It doesn't. You have to work more on you. Stop looking at the other person if you're in this situation. Now, these people generally don't want to watch these videos. So they do. They kind of curse me out at the bottom. I love it. It's great because by doing the violent, bad behavior, they're just separating themselves from the truth. So these people are not going to come down so long as these people exist. Okay? And did you ever try talking to somebody who is feeding the narcissist? You could show them charts, everything, anything, every direction you can. They won't listen. They'll go back. They still want to call them. This is a spiritual thing, because this is the other half of evil. This is the hidden part of the evil. This is the visible part. In the truth of everything, the head, the body, and the spirit inside. If there's a distortion, then that distortion has to manifest outside the body. Another one is religion. Religion or religiosity. They're thinking that they want to see God on the outside. Okay, so if God's on the outside, then he's not on the inside. Then he's not on the inside of your body. So they go to the church. They go to the box. They go to their synagogues. That's where God is. He's in a box, and we're going to go to the box. It's crazy. It's crazy. But it's crazy because that's where they are. So if you're watching these videos, there must have been some epiphany in your life. Something must have happened, and that something has opened your eyes. And once your eyes are opened, then my videos make a lot of sense. On face value, if someone watches my videos, they will just run, because they want to perpetuate this and look for somebody to justify their behavior. If your therapist is justifying your behavior, that means they're already feeding you a lie. And you can't have a lie with the truth. You have to be in the truth. So, I don't know, some therapists might try and, spend 15 years feeding you that lie that it's you, and then maybe baby steps and giving you personal responsibility, $50,000, $100,000 later. Okay, if you want to wait 15 years to get the truth, that's fine. You could, it's your life. I just think that I'd rather spend 15 years enjoying the life, being in my body, than shelling out $50,000, $100,000 to a therapist because they need to pay their rent. I don't know. I'm literally appalled when I watch some of these videos, and I can make comments on them all the time. I don't even bother. Because remember, the blind are leading the blind, and they're going to both fall into the pit. These people are kept alive by these people. Okay? The bigger this head, somebody had to swallow that head. Somebody had to fill that head with hot air, and then they jump from person to person, and now you got them, and you got it, and you're filling it with hot air. They won't stay. They won't stay when you're not feeding them lies. They can't feed off of you. They're not going to stay. Okay? But the thing is that this person wants them to stay. So, in the relationships of outside of, a lot of work relationships, and you're stuck to deal with them, yeah, you're stuck to deal with them. If you want something from the narcissist, then you're going to have to lie. And my thing is, don't be in that position to lie, because it's soul crushing. And eating these lies, all it's going to do is just destroy your soul. So that's pretty much the bottom line on that. But I make a lot of money. Okay, you make a lot of money, but you have to sleep at night. You make a lot of money. Maybe that money is not that. It shouldn't be that important in your life. Maybe you'll get a blessing someplace else. If you put yourself in a better position not to be under the evil. You can't support the evil. That's why, even in the Bible, in the end, after in the Revelation, those that end up in a bad place, that and without, okay, this is Revelation 22:15, and without the dogs and the sorcerers and the whoremongers and the murderers and the idolaters and everyone who is loving, okay, so that anyone who is loving and doing a lie. Loving and doing a lie. The bottom line is, this person is reproducing a lie. And we're going back to the Garden of Eden. This is spiritual. This person loves the lie. They want to be with the person that gives them a lie. That's why lies are really, really toxic. And you don't want to be around them. So is your therapist lying to you? If your therapist says that you're the victim and they're playing that card for a long time, you know, there's a problem there, because they're lying to you. If your therapist is justifying your actions, if your therapist is saying things like, you're surviving narcissism, you're a survivor, yes, you made it, you're a survivor. Really? You're in a relationship with this person feeding them yeses when you mean no for 10 years and you're the survivor? I go, let me tell you something. You could flip this around. Let's flip this around now. You know something? Guess what? This person can also be the narcissist, because they're feeding the lies to this person. It's the same thing. It's just a different perspective. It's a different perspective. I know that's probably not going to sit well with a lot of people, but you did hear it. So now it's on you. Another thing that happens too is sometimes you'll watch a video like mine and it doesn't sit in right away. And then something's going to happen. Exactly what I said, and it's going to click. And once that clicks, it's not that you just watched my video. It's that this is how someone is brought into the truth. It's actually a spiritual thing. You can call it salvation. Because again, we went through space and time and how that identifies with the head and the body and the spirit. And how this is darkness. And until this is healed, this is darkness as well. Both of these, this relationship in this outer body is darkness. The relationship inside this body is darkness. The relationship in this body is darkness. When you are truly connected, I'll show one of the pictures where they're connected to themselves, which is still the same stick figure, no difference. When you are connected, now you're in the light, you're in the truth. The bottom line is, you gotta come to the truth. Don't let nobody fool you. You know, you might be going to a therapist for a long time, and they're just perpetuating, because they're perpetuating where you're at, because you're going to seek the therapist to keep you and keep your I, or your identity that you have, or character defense, going. So it's not about you getting healed. You're looking for someone to keep your character defense or to justify who you are. So don't let those therapists do that to you. I know this is a big pill to swallow, but I just think it's just so damaging to watch someone years and years and years. And I would argue with these people, and at the end of the day, their being right in their mind and their perception is only going to have them repeat the vicious cycle. It's going to happen again. They don't know it. Or they're just going to become the new narcissist. Just like these guys, the guys who deal with the woman that takes advantage of them. This is before, okay, remember the same looking guy, and then after, the head shoots out. When this happens older, then they become MGTOW. This is how the MGTOW guys are formed. You know, the head just shoots out, and now they don't connect to the body at all. And if anything, they just want to use the women for sex, and they don't get hooked up with the women at all. They become eunuchs. Of course, how are you going to have a relationship with a woman when you eject your head from your body, pretty much? Anyway, we're probably going to get cut off soon, but may God bless you. Again, visit our Patreon page if you're so inclined, and really try to step back and see what's going on with your therapist. And we hope that you go into truth, hope in the we, the head and the spirit together, because your spirit is your witness, your co-witness. You work together in tandem, and that's what you want to have, that inner connection. Again, may God bless you.